Also,
to our very professional
Exactly.
YouTube channel.
Exactly. All right, maybe I start over then.
All right, sounds good.
Also, editing Fisch here. I'm sure you've already noticed in the brief time that you've been watching this, but my video and audio don't match up. I sincerely apologize. I'm not sure what happened, and there's nothing I can do to fix it right now. Going forward, this should be fixed, but feel free to complain at me in the comments.
Watching your mouth move, damn you look stupid. No filter, I got no filter. No filter, I got no filter. No filter, I got no filter. No filter, I got no filter.
Welcome to another episode of Fat Guys React. I am Fisch.
I'm Optimal Prime.
Today, we're reacting to My Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 7, Victory or Defeat. So, I believe there's probably going to be either some victory or some defeat here, and
I'm guessing.
it will probably
both,
be
actually.
discussed. Well, yeah, one person will probably win and one person will probably lose, because
That's what I'm thinking too.
we are to the one-on-one battles.
The Naruto portion of the competition.
The one-on-one tuning exam
Yeah.
excitement.
Boy,
It's been
I
a while
hope our
since we
viewers-
recorded. Do you
I
remember?
hope our viewers like Naruto, because I continually reference it throughout this entire season so far.
Yeah.
Like more so than any other show, I think. But yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Do I remember
I
what?
think it's. I mean, when we talk about it, I think it's a fairly good comparison because they're doing a lot of the same stuff. There is
Right.
like this rivalry between these two. Well, between a few characters now, obviously, but I think there's a lot of similarities. So,
I do too.
do you remember what happened last time we watched? Because it's been a minute.
And I mean, is it so? They're doing the one-on-one fights. Endeavor's son, whose name I can never remember, Todoroki.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. And Midoriya are going to be going up against each other, right? In round one?
No.
Dang.
Incorrect. Boo! Everybody boo this man.
Maybe I said I wanted him to.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's the one-on-one fights. The cavalry battles have ended. Midoriya's team made it by the skin of their teeth. Some of the other teams that were like, "Hey, we made it," were all of a sudden like, "I don't know." Some of the players were like, "I don't know how we got here. Like, I don't know what happened." I remember
Oh, yes.
talking to this guy, and then
I
now we're at
also
the end
didn't
of this
remember.
game. And so Midoriya is going up against the guy that was on their team, and he was told, "Hey,
Oh,
Don't
that's
talk to him."
right. Don't talk to him, and then he did.
yeah."
Yeah.
And that
that's
is where
right.
the last episode left off. So
Yeah, I remembered
we're-
that. See, I wanted to see if you remembered it. It was a test.
Yeah, I wasn't sure I was going to until I started talking, and I
Oh, is that
BS'd
why
my
you
way
asked
into
me
it.
to do it?
So no, it was fine. I remembered them. I remembered at the end he talked to the guy. I wasn't sure I was going to remember the rest of the stuff, but it worked out. I did. Do you have predictions? Oh, by the way, I've seen this before,
I have not.
and so that's why I'm going to ask him to make predictions, and I'm not going to spoil stuff. What do you think is going to happen in this fight,
Well,
besides victory or defeat?
I was going to say, this is a pass or fail. If you lose, you're out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just have a hard time believing that in a shonen show, Midoriya is going to lose.
Mm.
I'm not saying he won't, because Midoriya is, he's definitely not the greatest there. He's smart and strong, but without having full control of his powers, I don't know how he does. Especially because I feel like full control of his if he doesn't have full control of his powers and he uses them, he could super kill somebody. But yeah, I don't know how he wins. I still don't have a full concept of what this other dude's powers are.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to predict those. What's gonna happen without having more elements,
Yeah. That makes sense.
But-
So,
we have been talking for almost half an hour.
yeah,
and
because
recorded
we
zero
can't
content.
predict what's going to happen, let's go ahead and get into the episode. What do you think?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's see who has victory and who has defeat.
Yeah, I think we've seen this episode before.
I think so too. I've for sure seen them talking about 80% of people having some uncanny ability.
Someday, that joke's not going to be funny to me, but that is not today. Today is not that day.
It is not this day.
But it is not this day!
Trouble picturing what this dude looked like.
It looks like me after how much sleep I got last night. You specifically have to cry and say uncle, though. You can't just
In a way, this is a
give up.
test of how strong your spirit is.
That's such a
If you
weird
know what
phrase.
you want your future to hold, you can't worry about what
The
other
cry
people
uncle
think.
thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to know where that originated from.
Oh, he just mentioned a monkey talking about his pride. That's his saying pride.
His same pride, yeah.
Never forget what you are, damn it! Where is your Saiyan pride?
Don't you talk about Ojiro that way, you hear me?
That's it. I win.
I'm gonna have to look up who this voice actor is.
I warned him not to say
Sounds
anything.
familiar.
Very familiar.
He's not moving a muscle. Could this be a coordinate work? He didn't stand out in the first rounds at all, but it's possible Shinso's crazy powerful.
This is a perfect example of why the entrance exam isn't rational. Shinso failed the practical exam to get into the hero course. He probably figured that would happen. Despite his abilities, Shinso never stood a chance at passing.
You're lucky to have been so blessed. Now turn around and walk out of bounds like a good little hero.
Keep walking till your feet bleed.
Turn around. Walk until your feet bleed.
What is this power?
Hitoshi Shinso, his quirk, brainwashing.
Look, I don't care what anybody says. I really like that movie.
Ooh, shiny.
Me too.
Forcing them to do whatever he says.
Totally agree.
Not every question does it though. He only brainwashes when he wants to.
In the fitness test on the first day of school, he outperformed Shinso. If they fought without powers, Midoriya would almost certainly win. But he'd have to overcome Shinso's brainwashing.
Yeah, brainwashing is tough.
My brain is full of fog.
What do you think what's gonna happen?
Damn it.
I was wondering if All Might was
Fell
gonna
for
say
it even
something,
after
but
Ojiro won.
He didn't get into my head until I answered a question he asked me before the second round.
Yeah, so it is interesting. They've
so he knew, like he
did.
completely
Yeah,
knew
he
what.
was stupid.
Still a chance.
That's even worse.
Round two, I bumped into another person, and it was like I woke up.
So it's contact with another person. Interesting.
Suddenly, I was
It is interesting though.
only a guess.
While Deku's walking towards the edge of the ring, he's thinking, "Oh, what did I do? I'm stupid."
Shock it would take to break
It's
his
not.
spell.
It doesn't seem like it's the same.
Because he's not completely fogged.
Yeah.
So I wonder if
I hope that's
the
helpful.
stronger you
That's all I
are,
Thank you so much. You're a good
the
guy,
harder it
Ojiro.
is to like put you in a complete daze.
Just the more totally neurotic you are.
Yeah, but okay, so here's the other thing. If he has to get bumped to get out, that is absolutely somebody else interfering. Which is cheating, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's all
So-
over.
I mean, if he just shakes himself out of it.
Even though so
Yeah,
many
I don't
people were
know.
counting on me.
Do you remember how he gets
I
out of it?
remember how he
Everyone
gets out
was
of it.
watching.
Okay, maybe I didn't remember exactly how he got out of it.
What?
Is that the All Might? Or the
Wait.
Allspark? The
It's the Allspark,
for all.
yeah.
I was like, what is that? I know it's not what I'm
I
saying.
have my own dreams.
One
of
for
becoming a
all.
Great hero.
I want to get more into the origin of One for All.
Yeah, it is such a cool power and a cool concept, right?
Well, because like they haven't really gotten into what it is specifically, but it's like literally like all the people that have had it, right? Isn't that the idea? Or
His fingers.
So,
like,
I'm not exactly sure what happened there.
yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Like, the only thing I can think of is seeing One for All like that.
I'm the one
Yeah.
who used One for All. But I'm not the one who moved my fingers just now.
Oh.
It was like people I didn't know came into my mind.
So he still
For a
didn't
second,
do it.
It was clear.
This is still cheating. I can stand by it.
Sacred torch has been passed on from.
I mean, I guess it's his quirk, so
Were
like
they
it
the ones
is,
who
but
cultivated this power?
it is him.
Did he save me?
Yeah, I mean, Dark
Is that
Shadow
even possible?
technically isn't
You do that!
100% controlled by Tokuyomi. It's
Don't have time
it's
to
kind of
figure
its
things out
own
right now.
entity.
I have to focus.
So I guess
Boy,
there are quirks like that probably.
When do we get to a point where he doesn't break his entire body just to use his power? Because I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Talk again.
I can neither confirm nor deny if that ever I mean, I could, but
Sure.
I didn't know you had so much power in your fingers.
That's what she said.
I'm kind of jealous of you.
jealous of your powerful
I've been there.
fingers.
Thanks to the way my quirk works, I've always been at a big disadvantage. But someone as blessed as you wouldn't understand that.
I have been blessed.
You're lucky enough to have a heroic quirk.
I've been blessed by others. That's why I am here.
This guy probably would have beat Naruto. Just saying.
This guy absolutely would have been.
Because Naruto's favorite jutsu is just to talk to the person he's fighting.
Pretty much all jutsu takes saying it, doesn't it? Am I wrong? Or do they just do that like in the same way Dragon Ball Z, they say all their moves?
I think it's the same as Dragon Ball Z, probably. Alright, he won. You were right. It's not even halfway into the episode.
What a crazy prediction.
Who could have ever seen this coming?
We could have seen that victory and defeat.
I do kind of feel bad for that guy. Because that's a pretty, like... Oh, I guess they're going to get into it.
Cool. Seriously. I can't think of anyone who's had that power. You can do any bad thing you want.
And no one would ever know it was you.
Everyone always says that. It's the perfect power for a villain to have.
But he wants to be a hero.
I'm used
Yeah,
to people looking
that's
at
pretty
me
cool.
Like I'm the bad guy.
That is really cool.
So his whole thing is that he wants... he wasn't able to make it into the hero course. Because he couldn't perform well enough in the tests. Do you think we're going to get more of him? Do you think he's going to make it? Or do you think this wasn't really enough for him?
If it was realistic, that would be it. He would either be nothing or he would become a villain. But that doesn't really seem like the vibe of the show. So like, I feel like we will see more of him.
Thinking this is like a chase your dreams
Yeah.
kind of show.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Why do you want to be a hero? What's driving you?
He's kind of like Midoriya in that regard.
You can't help the things your heart longs for.
Yeah, he wanted to be a hero despite not really having the capabilities.
Before I inherited One for All, I was just like him.
Okay, alright. He just said it.
Hey man, it's a shonen, okay? They have to be more explicit with some of the ways that they get their themes across. It's not Berserk over here, right? It's
Now I gotta rewatch Berserk. Are you happy?
yes.
With a quirk like that, it would be very simple to capture dangerous villains. Wish I had.
I can't believe they stuck him in.
I'll become a better pro than any of you.
Well, we already know that's not true because this is a story about how he becomes the greatest hero.
He got me again. Why?
Him like nodding counted as a response.
So be careful. You better not lose and make me look bad.
Really like that concept. That like, he's got really a power that you could... What's going on?
He responded again.
He's such an idiot.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying I think that's a really cool concept because he has an evil power, a power that you really could only use as a villain. Which isn't true because if you're a hero you could be like, hey, stop doing that.
Just like you've said.
And then people would stop doing it. But I just think it's cool that he wants to be a hero.
Yeah.
I had some kind of vision in the match. But when
7.
the vision appeared, it completely drove the fog away.
8.
That's when I was finally able to move for a
I saw it. Don't worry
with my
about it, okay?
fingertips.
Hey, look, some of us can't count. It's fine.
One of the
It's fine.
figures had eyes just
Some of
like
us can't
yours on
count
my
can't count quickly, or apparently
You think
can't say
all the
can't
people
count.
who've used One for All in the past were there pushing me on, like spirits?
It's a clear sign that you're getting closer to making One for All your own power. I think it's like a trace of the user's spirit that's left behind in One for All when it's passed on.
That's what I
Don't worry.
said. I'm so
Whatever
good
you
at this.
saw, That vision wasn't what got rid of the brainwashing effects.
Okay, so it wasn't cheating.
Regardless of what you saw out there, it was your passion that allowed you to overcome Shinso's power, some energy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you disagree?
Man, that
it just-
explanation is so not satisfying.
It's
I'm in the same boat as him, I guess. Explanation's not satisfying.
Who you're fighting next?
it's a little convenient, right?
Right.
It's like the shonen equivalent of plot armor.
Kinda. You know what my favorite plot armor is?
Some from Heroes.
No. It's Taviran from Wheel of Time.
Oh my gosh. That's like the plot armor of all plot armors.
I know, and I
That's
love
like,
it.
That's the point, right?
Yeah.
What do you want?
It's plot armor built into the actual plot as like a magic system.
Yeah, not just like a mechanic for keeping your character alive, but to explain everything.
Yeah.
You would have had
Endeavor's so freaking cool looking. His design's so sick.
my greatest masterpiece.
My greatest masterpiece.
Is that all you have to say to me, you bastard? I'll win this match and advance using only Mom's quirk.
You ever talk to your dad like that?
Pleasure of seeing me use
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
No, I call my dad by his first name.
Even if that works
Do you
for
really?
in this tournament, you'll soon find the limits of that power.
Not when I'm talking about him to other people, but just to him. Not in public. Just
Sure,
like when I'm
sure.
talking to him, I just think it's funny. Done it since I was a kid. I don't know why.
You just thought you were being rebellious and weird. Edgy.
No, it made him uncomfortable, and he thought it was weird, so I kept doing
Yeah,
it.
I figured.
It's the same way if he's walking, I go and hold his hand and like throws it away.
That's Alright, who's winning this one? Tape Arms or Todoroki?
God, I hope it's tape arms.
You hope Tape Arms wins.
Dude, that'd be so funny. It's a cool power. Like, it looks goofy, but you can't tell me that wouldn't be super useful.
I mean, it's kind of Spider-Man-y, which is kind of fun.
Apologies.
Ice. How do I know?
Holy crap.
I'm not playing around.
Dude. So did he kill that dude, or?
Yeah, he's just dead.
Oh, I said overkill.
He just shatters into a million pieces, and Todoroki's now a villain because he has to run away.
Is that man built out of dice?
That guy? No. I didn't see the dice guy. I'll have to see him.
There's
on the
literally a dude that just is dice. Go back and watch it
I will.
later.
I'll make sure to zoom in on it during the.
Tell you, it's interesting to me because in this show, all these people they build up as like rivals. None of them are like mean-spirited. Like, I think you could make an argument for Bakugo, but like in the end, I think Bakugo really is just he's confident, but like I think he's a good guy at his core, right? And I feel like I'm waiting for them to introduce characters that are like not good people, right?
Like actual like villainy character, like characters that are gonna be villains or are villains,
or just and even like characters that are wanting to be heroes, but not for good reasons, because of the way it elevates your status or the wealth you can obtain, like stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean, so far you're right. Everybody has been. It's been pretty selfless. I mean, even Ochako was like, I want to do it for the money so that my parents can live good. It's like, oh, well, okay.
So we can stop being poor. Definitely a happier, more positive show. So, like, I'm not saying I wish it was, The Boys or Invincible. Like, I like the fact that it's looking for the best in people. But it just seems weird to me that, like, even these characters that they're like, wow, they're aggressive and they don't care if they have to step on people to get ahead. They're still like, yeah, but I want to do this to help people, and you're just like, where's the one dude that's like, nah, I don't really care about people. I just like what being a hero looks like, or I like the features of being a hero. I'm just surprised we haven't gotten any of that so far, really.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. I hadn't really noticed that. I'm trying to think ahead and see and think of what else might happen there. I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah.
16 players will clash in a battle of wits, quirks, and pride.
It's still anyone's game.
Oh, right, because the two dudes that are like identical are gonna fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we watch that fight?
I think we watch all of them. But I think some of them are as quick as Todoroki versus Sero.
Well, Midoriya's battle was technically quick too.
Yeah, they were. So as far as Todoroki, right, using his ice to like its fullest extent. Oh gosh, I don't know if they've talked about it, so I don't know.
He'll
if
be
I can
able to
mention
do
it.
that on these kinds of matches, but when he fights other people, I don't think he's going to be able to continue to use just ice.
No.
I mean, he just in the other fight, he like accidentally used fire because it was instinctual, and I think if he's going to be constantly like worrying about what he's doing, I think he's gonna slip. It's like that scene from First Class where Magneto's like, if you're spending energy and focus, he's like, if you're spending energy and focus trying to look like that, it's taking away from your ability to do other things.
Interesting.
I don't know. So I think it's gonna be pretty difficult when he fights, better people further along the way.
Okay, that's an interesting thought.
I could be wrong.
You could be. You've been wrong before.
A few times.
Yep. I guess you don't really know what the other matchups are going to be. Do you have any predictions for Tetsu versus Kirishima?
I hope Tetsu wins.
Really?
No, but I just like Tetsu.
That's a great freaking name.
It's just so funny.
Really
I'm
is.
guessing he doesn't because what's the other guy's name?
Kirishima.
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 Kirishima. That's good because otherwise it's too much like another thing.
I think that's his name. Shoot, now I'm second guessing.
This is the problem with watching it this way is I don't get exposed to it enough, and there's just they introduced a ton of people pretty early.
Yeah.
And we're just like, hey, we're not really gonna say their names a ton more. So good luck.
Yeah.
And you're only gonna watch an episode every week or two.
Yeah, I mean it is like I've said before, it is gonna be better when they pick their hero names because I think hero names are easier and catchier to remember than.
Right, and obviously if there were American names, I would have a much easier time remembering them.
Sure. But like we're to the point where we're calling Izuku Midoriya Deku most of the time now. Because Deku is easy. Right? Aren't we? I am.
I've been saying Midoriya.
Well, okay.
But they also haven't been I think once they call him I try to avoid spoilers, right? I try to avoid anything My Hero related on TikTok or social media. But I will tell you, anytime people talk about him, they call him Deku. They don't. So much so, the first time I heard someone say Deku, I was like, "Who's Deku?" They're like, "Deku's got crazy plot armor," and I was like, "Who? Is he a character in My Hero Academia?"
Is that a person that we've seen before?
I've watched 3 episodes. I don't. When do they introduce this Deku character?
This guy sounds like somebody I can get behind. Not like a crying weakling with no quirk.
Boy, I can't wait till they replace Midoriya with a new main character called Deku.
Yeah. When's Midoriya going to blow himself apart with One for All and give it to somebody who can actually use it?
What's Bakugo's hero name?
That one I don't remember because they make a joke. They make a joke about how it's hard for him to come up with a name.
He should just be Kachan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he is, but yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it was an okay episode. Boy, when we watch episodes like this, these are the kinds where I'm like, man, I want to know more about these things. I want them to just stop beating around the bush. It's season 2. I want to know more about One for All. I want to know more about what it's going to look like when he's got his powers. So it's hard for me to tell you how good that episode was because I mostly just want to know more.
Yeah, and they're like, no, you're gonna get a little bit of a mystery box about One for All. You're gonna get a little bit of info about a brand new character, and you're gonna get a little bit more info about Todoroki, and that's it. Like you're not getting anything else.
And you're gonna like.
You're gonna like it. You're gonna come back next week, and you're gonna watch the next one.
And in the next episode, we're not gonna talk about any of those things.
Yeah, it's gonna be totally different. It's gonna be random fights, random people, not even any backstory on any of them. They're just gonna punch each other.
Yeah, exactly. And look, every anime does it. I don't think that's a flaw. It is very frustrating for me because I just want to know. I have a hard time dealing with things I don't know. It's like the same in One Piece, right? These arcs are fine, I'm so fascinated by the lore of the pirate like government system. Like, okay, but you're gonna spend 40 episodes on this zombie island, and you're just like, come on.
Yeah, you know my thoughts on Thriller Bark. Like,
I do, and we don't have to get into it on this, but it's just I hate when they do stuff like that because you're like, that's not what I want to see. I want to see him use his power. I want to know more about this all for one or one for all power. But it's just they have to. I understand to build a good story, you have to do this. So I'm not. Once again, I'm not talking about how this is a bad show or this was a bad episode because it seems like it's an important episode. They introduced a lot of interesting stuff. They introduced they introduced a new character who not only has a cool power but has interesting motivation. They showed Midoriya growing a little bit, and like you said, Todoroki. It was good development for him. So these are good story elements, but it's just like I want answers.
Yeah, it's tough to do just a 20-minute segment from a like a chapter of a manga and call it good.
Right. Yeah. These I'm thoroughly convinced that even though these are released weekly, anime is not meant to be consumed like this. It is meant to be binged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. I think the story is such that that's why chapters release one at a time obviously, but that's why they're bundled into big volumes.
Exactly. It's part of the reason why I actually don't like comics that much. Like, I don't like reading comics week to week. I like reading
graphic novels, complete
stories. And I like reading the complete stories when they're done.
Yeah.
Because and graphic novels are so much better because it's better storytelling almost always.
Yeah.
But no, I overall I would say I enjoyed that episode. Do I wish we got more into One for All? I genuinely can't remember if it's One for All, or All for One. I can never remember.
It is One for All.
Okay. Because I think they both work, right? Because that's the point of the phrase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Anyways. So yeah, I'm curious to see the next episode, and I'm sure it's not going to answer any of the questions that I have.
Probably not. It'll probably be a while.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah. No, I totally get the sentiment. So, all right. With that, do you have anything else? Those sounded pretty much like final thoughts to me. So I'm assuming you don't have any other ones.
No, I think it's perfect. I guess
cool.
Way to end it.
All right. Well, with that, thanks for watching Fat Guys React. I'm Fish.
I'm Optimal Prime.
Like and subscribe, and we will catch you next time.
Watching your mouth.